Hey everyone, welcome to this episode of The Rachel Cruze Show. And today I have one of you on to talk through a question that you have. I love doing these episodes, they're so fun. So today I have Audrey here with me, calling all the way from Oregon. So Audrey, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, so first tell me, where are you in the process of your money journey and the baby steps?
So, my husband and I signed up for Ramsey Plus about 3 months ago. So, we're on baby step 2, but we went over a little bit, so we have to go back to baby step 1 and then go back to 2 again.
Yes, that always happens, doesn't it? You get that baby step 1, that emergency funds, and then something happens. You got to go
Yeah.
take some money out. I know. It's a little defeating, but then it kind of feels good that you actually had money there, right? So
Yeah.
that's the positive. Awesome. Okay, so what's your question for today?
Yeah. So, when using the EveryDollar app, my husband gets paid every week, every Friday, and I'm just having a hard time with the budgeting. I know what's supposed to be there and what's going to be there, but it's not in there yet, and knowing what to pay when with that weekly paycheck.
Yes, this is a great question, and one that a lot of people have who especially are just starting out budgeting. So there's two ways you can kind of do this if you want. One way is a little bit more detailed than the other way, but I would say the detailed way is to have kind of another list to say, okay, here are the things that we're absolutely going to have to buy. So, this week I know I'll buy probably X amount of groceries, which will be probably a fourth of your entire monthly budget, right? Maybe you have bills due on the 7th or something, and okay, that paycheck, we need the money for those bills. And then week 2, here's probably what we are. And you kind of break it out in a different list. So as the money comes in, you know exactly where those are going and what bills to pay. Now, again, that's very detailed. But in another perfect world, which it may take you another month or two to get here, is that you actually use the money from last month. So you're using the numbers for what's about to come in, but the money sitting physically in your checking account is from your other paychecks. And so you're able to go and use basically a month there. So you kind of are a month ahead financially that's in your account, if that makes sense. So you still have a plan and you still know it's going, but the actual tangible money that's going out to pay bills are actual dollars from the paychecks from the month before. But again, you're still planning that same month, but the dollars are being used from last month's paycheck. So that may take you a little while to kind of save up and get ahead, especially, if you are living paycheck to paycheck, and a lot of people watching are in that process. So you really do, your paycheck hits and that's the actual cash you're using to pay the bills. So you may have to do that rhythm for another month or 2 or even 3 months. But hopefully you get to a point where you have a little bit more buffer in your checking account to go ahead and use that cash for the month. And then as the other paychecks hit, you'll use that money for the next month. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's good.
Yes, it's a little confusing, I know, because we always talk about planning ahead. And as your paychecks come in, you know exactly where every dollar's going. But when you get into the tactical side of it, it can be a little confusing. So again, for probably the first, maybe next month or 2, do that week list to say, okay, here's exactly what we're going to spend per week. So when the paycheck hits, but then maybe, as you get momentum and you guys start cutting expenses, you kind of start going to that debt snowball that you can leave a little extra cash as that buffer in your checking account.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yes. So how's it been so far? You guys are about 3 months in, and you're now kind of starting to see and feel the tactical side of it. How has it felt so far?
Yeah, well, the biggest thing so far is that I got excited and paid off a bill, and then was like, oh, we don't have that money till next week. So then I had to bring it out of the savings account, and so I got a little too excited.
I know. I love the enthusiasm, though. You're like, look, we're out of debt. Like, that debt is paid. Oh, yeah. I know. And that's what kind of gets, it can get so, so specific and so detailed, especially at the beginning as you're starting this process. But again, you guys are right at that hump, if you will, of the 90 days, because we talk about after 90 days, this stuff really does start to be more fluid. And so those little mistakes, that you've made at the beginning, which obviously are great mistakes because you want to pay off the debt and it's great. But you kind of start to get more in that rhythm of knowing, okay, the pay cycle and knowing the budget even more, and it actually kind of starting to be more predictable.
Yeah. It's definitely getting better where I'm seeing, oh, that needs tweaked in the budget, and that kind of the humps there.
Yes, for sure. So awesome. Well, Audrey, thank you so much for your question and coming on and sharing your story because it helps so many people because a lot of people have your exact question.
Well, thank you very much.
Absolutely, absolutely. And you guys, if you have a question and maybe you can come on the show, just ask your question on any of my social media channels from Facebook and YouTube, Twitter, Instagram. We'll be looking at those and hopefully you can come on and we can talk through your money situation. And again, like I said to Audrey, it's true. So many of you, this is the boat that you're in. You're figuring out this budgeting stuff and it's getting down to the wire of the tactical side of it. But man, once you hone it in and it really becomes more normal, it gets easier and easier. And it's all in order to win, right? All in order to win and gain control of your money and create a life you love.